Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Crimes, Killers, Cults.
Oh, and beer. I forgot to do that again. I'm not good at this, man.
Beer. Well, we're going to see how good I am at it because, I mean, for the last two episodes that were out was me doing solo like you, and you're much better at that than I am.
It just takes practice, you know.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm Bill, and
my guest I'm Kevin. There we go. I'm not used to the co-host thing. I'm not used to talking to another person.
Oh, no worries. Kevin is probably the most prolific guest that I've ever had on the studio. It would be him, followed by Murder Matt from Murder Coaster.
I don't know, man. You had Jody Plachey on here, so, I mean, he's pretty rad.
I met... Well...
Oh, podcaster. Okay, I see.
Well, no. I mean, prolific as far as, like, how many times you've been on.
Oh, okay.
Nobody else has been on here more than you have.
At one point in time, I'd been on more episodes of your show than I had been of mine, so...
This is true.
Back before I actually started History Goon Up, I was like... I'd been on here like 5 or 6 times, and I'm like, dude, I haven't even recorded an episode of my own show yet.
Yeah.
I got to get my shit together and start recording.
All my listeners are going to your... Like, where's this podcast? And
yeah.
I don't see it.
We started plugging it in like November, and then I finally dropped it in March the following year, where it's like, oh yeah, whoops. Sorry.
I forgot. Damn it, I forgot to do this. Yeah. I'm going to try to get back in the habit of doing that in the intro again.
Okay. You want to restart?
Nah.
Okay.
So, anyway, the show is back, and I'm sure you guys have all been wondering what the hell has been going on, what's happening, and I think I'm just going to do, for that, I think I'm going to, with Sandra, I'm just going to do like a special 2025 wrap-up, because 2025 has been a very hectic year for the podcast and for me, personally.
You gonna tell them about the time you spent in prison for smuggling hamsters or whatever it was? Across county lines?
Maybe. Damn, I asked you not to tell people about that.
Sorry, man. I got a big mouth. I couldn't keep it in.
Damn. It was gerbils.
Oh, sorry. It's a small rodent smuggling ring, one way or the other.
So, but before the show gets back to normal... we're going to do something a little bit abnormal, and History Goon Kevin here is going to take lead and tell us a story. So what do you got for us today?
I really don't want to tell this story, because this guy sucks, but
they all suck.
I guess if I have to. He's such a scumbag. Oh, God.
He is.
Anyway, so I'm going to start it off how I would normally start my show, where I start with a quote, and then I get into the story.
Sounds good.
There is no one who knows me, or who has ever known me, who knows anything about me, really. They're going to tell you something that does not line up with anything I tell you, because I'm two different people, basically. My name is Kevin, and welcome to Crime, Killers, Cults, and Beer. Alright, so, the best place with this story to start is right towards the end of it. March 16th, 2012, Lufkin, Texas, which coincidentally is where I got my dog from. He came up from a rescue out of Lufkin, which is kind of cool, but not more recently. He's only like 6 months old, but anyway.
Mail order bitches?
Yeah, one of my friends runs a dog rescue up here where like 90% of the dogs she gets come out of like kill shelters in Texas and Oklahoma. She brings them up here, gets them rehabilitated, gets them all like situated with other dogs and shots and all that stuff, and then adopts them out.
That's awesome.
Does very good work. I couldn't do it personally. I'd get attached too quickly and be like, I have 47 dogs now. All right. Police pull over a vehicle matching the description seen on an ATM camera after a debit card was used that belonged to a missing Alaska woman named Samantha Koenig. After being questioned on his connection to the missing woman, he decided to tell them exactly what happened to an innocent 18-year-old woman who was working in a coffee shack. So now let's get to the beginning of the story of this monster. Because I was still very much at the stage of I need to source all of my material when I do an episode. My research for this came from a book called Devil in the Darkness, The True Story of Serial Killer Israel Keyes by J.T. Hunter. And spoiler alert, I read this book like almost 10 years ago at this point in time. If I remember correctly, it was a little dry, but, you know, it is what it is. A lot of good information. Israel Keyes was born January 7th, 1978 in Richford, Utah, to Heidi Hankinson and I got his name backwards. John Jeffrey Keyes. They've been married for about 3 years at that point in time.
Keyes.
What's that?
John Jeffrey Keyes.
Yeah, I almost went Jeffrey John Keyes, but it's not that it would matter.
It doesn't really matter, but still, his parents must have hated him.
Oh, we'll get there. Believe me.
No, I mean John Jeffries.
Oh, yeah.
John Jeffries' parents. I mean,
yeah. I mean, at least he doesn't have 3 first names, because that would be like a giant red flag on its own.
Right.
So they'd been married for about 3 years when they had Israel. His father was a maintenance man, and like many other Mormon families in Utah, they gave some of their children names from the Bible. Hence, Israel, obviously. Israel was the second oldest of the 9, but the oldest son. There were 5 girls total, 4 boys total. The name Israel means he who prevails with God or he who struggles with God. In his case, it's probably the second one.
I don't think he really struggled with God. I think it was more like he just gave God the finger. Because
he struggled there for a while before he decided to.
He's pretty. You know, God's pretty specific about that "thou shalt not kill" thing.
Right. He definitely struggled with him before that, though, and then decided, like, you're not for me. I don't think. I think we should see other people, kind of, and gave God the whole "it's not you, it's me" thing. I need to work on myself.
Well, and then God says, "Well, I've got this other buddy that I'll just send you. Yeah. Look him up."
Large, red skin, black horns. Perhaps you've heard of him.
Right.
Tail. I lost my spot here. When Israel was a small boy, the family moved to Colville, Washington. It was a very small town, less than 5,000 people. They lived in a small cabin and had a wood stove and no electricity. The children were homeschooled, and their family started attending a Christian identity church named the Ark that was known to have some racist and anti-Semitic views.
Oh, they're culty, too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. His family is very culty when they get into it.
Well, that whole Christian identity thing is culty as well.
Isn't that what James Hetfield was raised in?
I was just going to say that he was raised in that, and I'm sure they're really proud of him.
Was it his brother or one of his other siblings or whatever that got sick and died because they couldn't take them to a hospital? Or was it his mom?
I don't know, honestly.
Something like that.
Yeah, and I should know this because I do have some sort of experience with that type of belief structure among a quote-unquote church.
He learned that he liked carpentry and had a natural talent for it. He actually built his first little cabin when he was 16 years old, and then he would go on to work for a general contractor in Colville from 1995 to 1997. In the late 1990s, the family moved to an Amish community in Smyrna, Maine, so they went straight across the country, where they would make maple syrup and attend Amish services for a few years, but never, joined the Amish community proper.
So they were hang around.
Yes. They were, they changed religions like most people change socks. People who knew the family said that their mother came across as, quote, creepy and cult-minded.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing about about people that want to be controlled with by a cult per se. they don't know it's a cult, but they need somebody to tell them what to do. And if they're not finding exactly what they want, they'll keep moving around until they do find it. Unfortunately, but that's just
how
how
you
it
end up
goes.
with people like Jim Jones running stuff.
Yep, that's exactly how it happens.
The kids would actually have to sneak out of the house to go over to friends' houses to watch movies. Their mother also wasn't a huge fan of them playing musical instruments because she believed that it was against God, which that seems kind of dumb. I mean, it's like the cult up here that if they catch your kid running around pretending he's an airplane, any person in the group can beat them for it. So,
Oh, yay. That's fun.
yeah, I bet. That's
Well, I mean, they do kind of have a point if it's like K-pop or something like that.
one more sea shanty out of you, and you're getting the belt. Man, my kid would get beat so bad because that's Stan Rogers is like his absolute favorite, and he's 3. Like, definitely my kid.
My daughter loves the K-pop. Loves it.
I can't do it, man.
No.
I've worked with people that listen to it, and I'm like, I can't do it.
No, me either.
Israel was described as, quote, the prince of the family, and all the younger children looked up to him. However, when he was 17, he had a huge falling out with his parents. At this point in time, he has had enough of religion in general and declares himself an atheist. Like a lot of other serial killers, his mother was really overbearing, so when he declared that he was an atheist, he was kicked out of the house. His brothers and sisters were forbidden to speak to him. Which, again, that strikes me as being very culty, where like you've been excommunicated and you're not allowed to have contact with these people anymore.
Yeah. They do. But they don't take it. They don't take it too kindly when somebody defects and starts thinking for themselves, whether it's becoming an atheist or whether it's just like, okay, I believe in God, but this crap that you're spewing is not God. This is just wackiness.
Yeah, evil in some cases.
Yeah, in some cases, yes.
Okay, I was just giving it a second for shits and kicks. I really barely heard that with that microphone because I know you mentioned that the other day.
Yeah,
it was barely noticeable.
Well, I'm gonna try and keep blowing it away, away from the mic.
No, what I'm saying, I didn't even hear like I barely heard the like inhale on it. So I think people will quit bitching about that. Hopefully. But they'll find something else to bitch about, like they don't like your hat or something.
Right. I'm growing my hair long. And
welcome to the internet. Everybody hates you for absolutely no reason.
And it's still I can't do anything with it just yet. So hence the hat.
Yep. It's that weird stage where if you don't have something on it, you're constantly going like this to keep it out of your face.
No, I look like I French kissed an electrical outlet.
On July 9th, 1998, he traveled to New Jersey and enlisted in the Army. From there, he would be stationed at Fort Lewis near Tacoma, Washington, and then he'd go to Fort Hood in Texas, which I don't believe it's Fort Hood anymore. I'm pretty sure it is Fort...
Yeah, they did change it.
Cavacos, I think. I'm pretty sure. And I just talked about Hood not too long ago because he was just a terrible, terrible fucking general. Like, not just a bad person, also a very bad...
What was Fort Hood's name changed to?
Fort Hood was renamed Fort Cavazos in May 2023, but it officially reverted to Fort Hood in July 2025. The change was to honor Colonel Robert E. Hood, a World War I hero.
Oh, okay, they changed it back.
Oh, for fuck's sakes. Okay. Could have at least named it after someone who wasn't a complete turd, but, whatever. That's just how politics are. It's like, well, you changed this, so I'm changing it back without doing any research into who it's named after. But
well, that's how our that's how we're just going to be run for the foreseeable future.
Yeah.
Everything the next president is going to come in and undo everything the previous one did, and that's just how it's going to be with every
Correct.
president that we have moving forward. And Lord knows how long it's going to. So basically, we're going to be stuck going around in circles. There's going to be no advancement, no progress moving forward or whatever. We're just going to be stuck in a rut.
Well, if we want to get really into the weeds, the last time we had a real president, they shot him. So, like, all the way to death. And they've just been puppets for corporations in foreign countries ever since then. But,
Pretty much.
because we didn't want to go to war in Vietnam, so we have to kill you,
Right. Yep.
Anyway,
hashtag, but I digress.
yeah. Hashtag, I can't fly anymore.
Neither can I, apparently.
Oh, dude, I have been down some rabbit holes recently on topics, and I'm like, oh, no. They check my hard drives. I'm in trouble. Not for anything like that, but just for, researching fucking politics. And
okay.
Yeah.
You ordered that Start Your Own Militia handbook, didn't you?
You can't order it online. I mean, I got a guy, though. And besides, I am well within my constitutional rights to do that.
This is true.
So, I've thought about it. I'm just too fat to do it. So from there, he would spend some time in Egypt and made friends with a guy named Sean McGuire, who he shared a barracks with. McGuire never fully trusted him. Once they got into an argument, and Israel told McGuire that he wanted to kill him. And McGuire was convinced that he was completely serious, because he was completely serious.
Nice guy.
Yeah. That dude got lucky. Let's be real. People die on military bases in foreign countries all the time.
Is it possible that that he's already committed his first murder at this point?
Very possible.
Is that something that we're getting? Okay, spoiler alert. Is that something we're getting to, or we don't know? It's just possible.
There's some speculation, but there's no hardcore evidence just because of how he operated.
Gotcha.
But it is super likely that he's got at least one or two under his belt by now.
Okay.
In February 2001, he returns back to Fort Lewis. He got a DUI, and he only served one day in jail for it and got a $300 fine. So I would assume that he got the DUI off base.
Probably.
And because it's a military town, they're just like, whatever, just spend the night in the drunk tank, give us $300 and we'll let you loose. Because if he'd got it on base, they would have beat him with sticks and stuff. So even with all of that, he's awarded an Army Achievement Medal for service while he was a gunner and an assistant gunner. He later told investigators that before he enlisted in the Army around 1997 or 1998, he raped a young teenage girl in Oregon. She was floating down the river with her friends, and he was kind of stalking them from the trees. And he got to a point where he could wait for her. Then he snuck down into the water and separated her from her friends, basically grabbed her by the foot in her tube and yanked her on shore while her friends are just skedaddling down the creek, where he took her up into the woods and assaulted her pretty violently.
What did the friends do? Did they report it?
I don't know. I don't know.
I'm guessing probably not, because if it's not there, it probably didn't happen.
Right. And I don't know if she was far enough behind them that they didn't see it happen, didn't see her get yanked out of the water, or didn't hear it, or if she was out in front of them.
Okay. They might have been, separated by about 50 feet each or something.
Yeah, and,
come around a bend and boom.
Maybe they thought she just, hopped off to go do whatever. He did say he had every intention of killing her, but he didn't have any way to do it, so he put her back in her inner tube and let her float away. Nice dude.
Yeah.
In 2001, he was honorably discharged from the Army. Somehow. He met a woman named Tammy Hawkins shortly before he was discharged. What's that?
They didn't know about the water rafting trip.
Yeah, well, they also apparently didn't know about him threatening to kill his bunkmate, which is Kind of wild. What are you eating?
Well, that probably came out after the fact.
So after he met this Tammy woman, they moved to Naya Bay, which I believe is in Washington. By now, he's 6 feet tall, very muscular, and he liked watching violent movies and listening to incredibly violent music, like Megadeth.
That's not violent.
Megadeth isn't even the most violent thing I've listened to today.
Yeah. Well, they got a couple songs. Yeah. Good Morning Black Friday.
Yeah, but like nothing. I would be like, you know what? This is something I'm going to go beat somebody to death while I'm listening to.
Well,
no. I mean,
music and video games get a bad rap.
That's true. That's very that's very true. So he was actually pretty quiet and shy around people he didn't know, but once he was around people or became friends with them, he was completely the opposite. Well, out there, he worked for the Parks and Recreations Department and did some construction work on the side, which that's going to be a reoccurring thing because that's his main line of business that he's in, other than killing people, is doing construction.
Right.
The members of his community said he was a nice and respectable person and that he was always helping people. And a lot of people that listen to your show will probably understand that that's pretty common for people like this, where they are very outgoing to make sure that they're keeping the mask on.
Unless you're BTK.
And then you're just killing girls' dogs because they won't let you in the house.
Right.
You know, what a douche. During his childhood and teenage years, he became friends with the neighbors, the Kehoe family. More importantly, the two brothers, and I wish I was making these names up.
Oh boy.
Chevy and Cheyenne Kehoe. It's not Chevy, it's Chevy.
I wonder where she was conceived.
They were these. I'm assuming these are trailer park people. Yeah.
What kind of car do they have? They have a Chevy. They have a Chevy.
Well, the thing is the Chevy Cheyenne was actually a pickup line that ran like sequential with the Silverados.
Oh.
So their dirtbag dad named them after his favorite truck.
Reminds me of that meme where it has Han Solo and Princess Leia arguing, and Princess Leia says, "We are not naming our son Guitar."
Drum was the second close one, but can't do that either.
Right.
We'll name him after that one guy. What was his name? Oboe something. Not naming our son Oboe Solo.
Oboe Solo.
That's even worse. Because that one just sounds sad. Stop chewing on my cables, dummy. Just lay there. Jesus. This dog is like having a 3-year-old with me. So the Kehoe's father, his name is Kirby. He is a real dirtbag.
So the father's named after a vacuum cleaner.
Yep. Yeah, or a little pink thing that sucks. So does he.
Yeah, that too.
Their mother is Gloria. They pulled Chevy and Cheyenne from public school in 1988. They were raised with some pretty extreme white supremacist and anti-government views, and Chevy would go on to form a white nationalist militia to take down the government.
Yay.
I mean, spoiler alert, that didn't happen because we still have one. And we had a black president since then, which I'm sure pissed him off.
This is true.
In 1995, Chevy and Kirby robbed the home of William Muller in Tilly, Arkansas. Muller was a gun dealer who had a large collection of firearms, ammo, cash, all kinds of stuff that dirtbags need when they're going to try to create their own, white ethno-state. In June of 1995, Kehoe and an accomplice kidnapped and robbed Malcolm and Jill Friedman, who were a Jewish couple who owned a store at which Kehoe had once been employed. Then in January of 1996, he returned to the Muller home, where he and an accomplice murdered William, his wife Nancy, and his stepdaughter Sarah Sarah Elizabeth Powell, and they dumped their bodies in a nearby swamp, which is not the right way to dispose of a body. You're supposed to, like, call a coroner or something.
Bring out your dead.
Put him on the cart. Not quite dead yet. Oh, yes?
I don't want to go on the cart.
I feel happy. Oh, my God. That was perfect.
Yes, it was.
In February 1997, Chevy and his brother Cheyenne were involved in a shootout with an Ohio State Highway Patrol officer and a deputy sheriff in Wilmington, Ohio. And the shootout was recorded on the trooper's dash cam and was widely broadcast. You can actually see video of the shootout in an episode of the 1997 Fox show World's Scariest Police Shootouts. You could probably hunt that down on YouTube somewhere. I almost guarantee it.
Probably.
Chevy was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole, and for his role in the deaths of the Muller family, his accomplice was sentenced to death. And another fun fact, Chevy is currently incarcerated, or at least at the time of writing this was, at the Florence ADX Supermax prison in Florence, Colorado, which is the same prison that Ted Kaczynski is in. The surviving...
There.
What's that?
BTK's there too, I believe.
Oh, I think he's dead, isn't he?
BTK's not dead.
He's not? That's unfortunate.
No. Yeah.
The surviving Boston bomber is there.
If BTK was dead,
See, that's one of those weird, like, Mandela effect things where I'm like, I'm pretty sure he died in, like 2011. And, but there's actually a lot of pretty high-profile people in that prison that's basically like Arkham. Because El Chapo's in there now, too, after they dug that, like, 4-mile tunnel from across the Mexican border to get him out through a shower. So, I don't know. You could say that maybe growing up next to a family of, like, white supremacists and weirdos like that may have had some influence on him, but who knows? I don't really know. And I don't think so because he didn't target specifically people of color for any reason. He was just equal opportunity. He just liked killing. He would kill anybody. Right.
And it wouldn't even be... He didn't have a type. His type was heartbeat.
Yes. Breathing and nearby.
And yeah. Well, no, not even nearby.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean...
Targets
was
of
one
opportunity,
thing.
yeah.
There's unsolved crimes in quite a few states, unsolved murders in quite a few states that I'd be willing to bet that he did.
Oh yeah, because his final number that they actually got him on is like peanuts compared to what he probably did.
Oh yeah.
I mean, realistically, from all the other stuff that he's mentioned, I would probably put him at like 35 to 40.
Probably. And I mean, like when Herb Baumeister was caught, there's speculation that some of the people that Herb Baumeister killed were actually Israel Keyes victims, and possibly even vice versa.
Yep. Actually, David from Macabre Emporium a couple of weeks ago messaged me, and he's like, "Oh, they just found another body at Fox Hollow." I was like, "Shit, very interesting."
Keyes or Baumeister?
What's that?
For Keyes or Baumeister?
For Baumeister. Okay. They found another body recently on the property that his house, mansion, whatever it was on.
Yeah. That's one we haven't covered yet on the list.
Spoiler alert, I've got him done if you want. And it's only like 30 pages to go through. It wouldn't be that bad, you know?
All right. Put a knife in that.
So, during his childhood years, Kehoe would walk around with a pistol... Keyes. These stupid names. Would walk around everywhere he went with a pistol. At the age of 14, his grandfather gave him a .38 caliber revolver, which he outfitted with a homemade suppressor, because I refuse to call it a silencer, because that's not what it is.
Nope.
He and his friends had a little habit of breaking into houses and burglarizing them. Just, teenage fun stuff.
Boys will be boys.
Yes. At a fairly young age, we don't really know, probably, 12 to 13, he killed a family pet cat that kept getting into the trash. And he did this with an audience. He brought a couple of friends out there. And after seeing how the other two reacted to him shooting this cat like 6 times, that's when he realized that he had to hide the real him from everybody else. He couldn't be himself, his true self, around other people, because they were like, oh, this guy's a monster. On November 13th, 2002, his father passed away, and Keyes attended the funeral. Later that year, he separated from his girlfriend, who then took their daughter, and he kind of goes quiet for quite a while, and that's kind of concerning. Yeah. Because this story picks back up in 2006. So that's 4 years unaccounted, basically. 3.5 years, I guess.
How much did he travel during that time?
Oh, a lot.
Yeah,
a lot. And he started traveling by taking part in marathons.
Really?
The marathons themselves are not important right away. But...
No, did he do like the Boston Marathon? I mean, that's kind of important.
Oh, no. The fact that he's running marathons isn't important. It's the other things that are going to happen while he's attending these marathons that are.
Oh, yeah. Kind of like Larry Hall when his Civil War reenactments.
Yep. Or if you want to go fictional, the Trinity Killer.
Right.
Not building houses. Just building houses, though. That's it.
You know he actually killed in 4s?
I thought it was 3s.
Nope. He killed in 4s.
Interesting.
You need to rewatch Dexter.
I really do.
He killed in 4s.
It's at this point that he began making numerous travels for unspecified reasons. In 2007, Keyes opened a new business called Keyes Construction, which was incredibly reliable, and according to a former employer at a construction company, he was laser-focused, reliable, and very, very good at his job as a general contractor. Now, let's get into the crimes. Now that we have his background, and as of right now, I'm about halfway through this. Keyes committed his first crime sometime between 1996 and 1998. Well, he was still living in Washington. During the period where before he got prolific, he hinted at killing 4 people in Washington state, a couple and 2 separate individuals on different occasions. He starts to realize that if he keeps killing in Washington, eventually it would begin to show a pattern, and he would be caught. So 2009 rolls around, and this is when he starts to change his ways. He begins traveling the country. He goes to California, Texas, Chicago, New Jersey, New Hampshire, and Vermont. And I save Vermont for last because I've got a semi-personal story linked to this, unfortunately.
Did you go get work as a male stripper and get propositioned by somebody who later found out was a serial killer?
I didn't, but I'll tell it when I get there because it'll make sense. On these trips, he would begin stalking people, and he did this from a distance so he wouldn't draw attention to himself. He planted what he referred to as kill kits in areas near his intended victims so he would have quick access to his items.
Well, yeah, the kill kits were basically, duct tape, twine, knives, gun, cash, everything that you would need, but he would put them in sealed 5-gallon buckets and
bury them.
Bury them, and that they're talking about all this money that not El Chapo, the other one, the other big drug dealer from Colombia, Escobar, Pablo Escobar, but they're talking about how he hid money in the ground and everything, and it's probably deteriorating right now. It wouldn't be if he had used 5-gallon buckets.
Right. You know, a wild story with him? At one point in time, he was making so much money that he was spending $5,000 a month on rubber bands.
Yeah.
And he also may be responsible for part of the deforestation of the Amazon and some like species die-offs and stuff.
Yeah.
Because he had hippos. And the hippos got loose into the Amazon. And when they poop, it's toxic to fish. And it's killing off like giant chunks of fish. And they can't go in and remove the hippos because some idiot in Washington, D.C. decided that these hippos have human rights. And you can't tranquilize a hippo because, believe it or not, they don't float. They sink. So if you tranquilize it, it'll fall asleep and drown.
Why is a U.S. politician dictating what happens in Mexico or Colombia or wherever? And and why can't... And thank God that guy's never taken a trip to the frickin' Everglades. You might decide that Burmese pythons have human rights.
Oh, God. If he does that, you guys are done for.
We're done, yeah.
Human rights for kudzu across the South.
Yeah. But can you imagine if you were just, if some construction worker was just digging or whatever and found this mysteriously buried 5-gallon bucket, opened it up and found one of his kill kits? What do you do with that? Do you sell it?
It would depend on what was in it. Because if there was interesting items in there...
There's going to be cash, there's going to be a gun, there's going to be ammunition, there's going to be a knife, there's going to be twine, there's going to be duct tape, there's going to be probably a tarp.
Well, I mean, I can use all those items personally, so I didn't see nothing.
True. But could imagine like if you ran fingerprints on it and you found it was definitively Israel Keys because his fingerprints were on it or whatever. I mean, imagine how much a true crime collector or like a true crime museum like the one in St. Augustine or whatever would pay for that.
A lot.
Yeah.
You're like, hey, here you go. I bet you could find pictures of his fingerprints online too, and you might be able to find somebody to match them for you.
Oh, put your own. You got to.
I'm going to go to Essex and start digging.
You got to be careful though. If you make a 5-gallon bucket with the logo, put the logo on it. You got to make sure that you're using Home Depot's logo from that time.
Funny you mentioned Home Depot. I'll get there. I promise.
Okay.
So he had these kill kits all over the place, and you already went through everything in there. The only thing you missed, and I'm disappointed, is you missed the drain cleaner. Which,
yeah. Well, I mean,
come on, Bill.
I haven't really researched Israel Keys very much, especially when I found out that my good buddy Kevin here already had a script ready.
No, but you nailed it. Like, everything on this list, the only thing you missed was the drain cleaner. Pretty not bad. It's almost like you've talked about psychopaths like this before.
I do a true crime podcast.
It reminds me of that episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, where Dennis is going to the back of his truck. I need my things. You're what? My tools. My items that I have in case I need them.
Yeah.
Fucking duct tape and zip ties and stuff. In April of 2009, he robbed the Community Bank branch in Tupper Lake, New York. And this is right around the same time frame when a woman named Deborah Feldman went missing from Hackensack, New Jersey. In the grand scheme of things, Tupper Lake and Hackensack are not really that far apart, like 3 to 4 hours, I think. I could be wrong. I could do an ADD break, but I don't want to.
Nah.
Later on in interviews, he said, quote, like when he was asked about her, said, quote, "I don't want to talk about her right now." Which, I mean, if I was a cop, I'd go,
okay,
I think
guess
we'll
what
circle
you're
back
going
to
to
this
do?
one. Yeah. So Deborah Feldman was an alleged sex worker and drug addict who went missing April 8th, 2009. So, let's see here. April 2009, robbed a bank, not far from there. Also, April 2009, a woman went missing. I think I'd be looking into both of those.
But
So now we're going
oh, okay. I thought you were alluding to something.
No, I'm like, if I'm a cop, I'm going to go, that's the same month.
Yeah.
Let's take a look. So now we're going to jump ahead 2 years to June 8th, 2011 for his next actual confirmed murders. After... Oh, Jesus. Yeah. Stuff going on my eyes. After planning his kill kit earlier in a wooded area just 2 miles from the Courier home in Essex, Vermont, Israel Keyes made his way to 8 Colbert Street, which is a 3-minute drive from the Lowe's home improvement that I used to work at when I was up there.
Oh.
So now is probably the best time to do it. So I worked at the Lowe's where you can almost see their house from there. I was pretty frequently in the Walgreens, which is the last place that I believe her name is Diane. I'll get to it when I get there. But that's the last place where the Mrs. Courier was seen. Was at this Walgreens right on the corner. And then after I left Lowe's, I started doing pest control for a multi-billion-dollar company that drive around in little white trucks with a red diamond on the side of them. I did service on that road.
Hold on, I don't mean to interrupt. Down here, there is... I can't remember the name of the company, but they drive these yellow VWs with, like, mouse ears on the top of it and tails coming off. I'm not kidding. I am not kidding. Oh,
damn it. That's awesome. I want to go work for them. That sounds great.
Check that out.
You're shitting me.
Nope.
Oh, my God.
Truly Nolan. And I can't see what state that license plate is. That does not look like a Florida license plate.
That looks like maybe Pennsylvania?
I don't know.
No, it can't be. Maybe one of the Carolinas or something?
No, that looks to me like New Mexico or something.
Oh, if they're lease vehicles, that would make sense. If they're if they're all registered somewhere else.
Oh, they could be, but they're really big in Florida. I mean, they have been for years.
That's insane. Hold on here. Oh, damn. Okay, so I'm seeing locations in a ton in Florida. North Carolina, a couple in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Delaware. I'll be damned. They're all over Canada, too. No shit.
There's none in Vermont, though.
No. We've got Orkin or Terminex for the big...
those are both down here, too.
Like the big ones. And then there's a bunch of, local guys that do it who... If you're in the Vermont area and you need pest control, get a local guy. It's going to cost you a lot less money. And they won't.
So, yeah, you see them a lot in Orlando. I wonder...
They're not allowed near Disneyland, I would assume. Like, the mouse-eared overlord would have the driver executed immediately. Shoot him.
Damn, if only. Oh, man. That'd be hilarious. You get some new guy in charge of that and everything, and he's shopping around for deals and whatnot. Truly Nolan happens to give the best deal. And they show up.
Dude rolls up to the gate and gets out with a flamethrower. I'm here to commit my life's work.
That's hilarious.
Snow White fucking drop kicks him back through the windshield. Anyway,
oh my God. Hashtag. But I digress, and by the way, you're welcome, Truly Nolan.
That's fantastic, yeah. Oh my God. So he selected these people specifically because they have no kids, they have no dogs, and they have a connected garage that would make it a lot easier for him to get into the house and remain unseen. So he gets to the outside of the house, he cuts the phone line, and he could have had a couple of different reasons for this. One is that if he's heard breaking in, they're going to call 911, and the Essex Police Department, in the grand scheme of things, isn't that far from there. It would still take them 20 minutes to get there because it's Vermont police.
Well, cutting the phone line, that was BTK's trademark. You know that, right?
Yep.
He just wants everybody to know that.
Yep. And I think that might be partly where he picked it up, because this guy was definitely a student of the game when it comes to all that.
Oh, sure. But I just had to, I just had to get, that was a straight one. Kind of like his glass of water,
And actually, Keys probably did it for the exact same reason that BTK did, because if they have an alarm system, that's a very easy way to find out, because if you cut that phone line, the alarm will immediately go off.
Hmm.
And if the alarm goes off, you can just poof back into the woods, and you were never there in the first place.
Right.
It's just kids. Excuse me. Keys then broke into the garage and found a flathead pry bar hanging off the wall. He used the pry bar to break the window in the door that separated the kitchen from the garage. He snuck through the kitchen and down the hall where Bill and Lorraine Currier were sleeping. He woke them both up, held them at gunpoint, and told them that he was... He woke them both up, held them at gunpoint, and told them that he was taking them to another location. He then loaded them into the Courier's Saturn and drove them out to an abandoned farmhouse. So, I'd had to go into a little bit of background with these guys just because, it's my peoples, basically. Bill and Lorraine got married in 1985. They lived in an apartment in Winooski until 2003, which Winooski's... Most of the cities up there for me are just gross. I don't like... There's too many people, and it's just icky.
I'll take your word for it.
You're not missing much by not going to Winooski or Burlington, I promise.
A coat factory.
No, that's not even our Burlington. I think that's Burlington, New Jersey, actually. Yeah.
I tried.
All we have up here are furniture stores named for a Revolutionary War alcoholic that didn't do anything.
Ethan Allen?
Yep. No, he was sleeping off a pretty hefty hangover in the boat while his brother and one of their buddies were in there nailing powdered wigs to the walls. So, in 2003, they bought their home in Essex. Bill joined the Army straight out of high school, where he served as a fireman and radio operator. He served for 4 years, from 1980 to 1984 as active duty, and then another 2 years as a reservist. He was honorably discharged in 1986. The Couriers were known by their neighbors to be quiet, polite people that often hosted family gatherings at their house because they had an in-ground pool, and it was the nice place. Bill worked at UVM as a caretaker for test animals, where he had been since 1986. So he's doing a nice thing. And then...
Is he really?
Yeah, he's cleaning out rabbit cages and stuff.
For test animals?
Well, yeah, I mean... At least he's not up there strangling them like fucking BTK would have been, or...
Well, no, somebody else is. His boss is.
Right, exactly. Lorraine worked at Fletcher Allen Medical Center with Bill's sister, Diana. Now, let's go to the farmhouse, unfortunately. He forces Bill and Lorraine into the farmhouse at gunpoint. He tied Lorraine up and took Bill to the basement, where he zip-tied his hands behind his back into a chair. He then proceeds back up the stairs, where he would sexually assault Lorraine at least once. Bill is in the basement, again zip-tied to a chair, and he can hear his wife crying and screaming.
Damn.
He hulks the fuck out and breaks these zip ties.
Damn.
He couldn't break the ones for his ankles, but he broke the ones around his wrists.
That is not easy to do.
No, I mean, it's hard enough to try to cut zip ties if you don't have a sharp blade or clippers or something. And he just straight up ripped them apart, which that's some desperation. Keys hears Bill yelling, and he goes back downstairs. This is where it gets a little confusing. There's a couple of different stories of how this may have gone down. There was potentially a struggle between Keys and Bill. Some people say that Keys just straight up shot him in the head as soon as he saw him. There was another story where Bill cracked him in the ribs or something with a piece of wood and then he got shot. It doesn't matter. What matters here is this man is dead for absolutely no reason.
Right.
Keyes then returned upstairs to finish what he had started with Lorraine. Once he's done, he brought her down to the basement and laid her next to her dead husband and strangled her to death. He claims that he then covered them in drain cleaner and a plastic sheet. Then he threw a bunch of basement junk over the top of them and just left the house. This is where I personally call bullshit. He would go in on he would go into his FBI interviews to mention having dumped bodies in lakes in Washington and that woman that he potentially killed in Tupper Lake, New York, where it's a lake. He very easily could have thrown her there. I highly believe that, considering the biggest lake in New England is Lake Champlain, it's 15 to 20 minute drive from Essex, or if you want to go to the deeper point of the lake, down towards like Charlotte or Essex, New York, that's a 30-minute drive. I used to live just south of Charlotte. You can be from there to Essex in 45 minutes if you're taking your time. I personally think that they are in Lake Champlain somewhere.
Probably.
They'll never find them because the lake is pretty deep and the water is so murky that it would be an act of God if they ever found a body down there. Like there's shipwrecks in there from the Revolutionary War that they can't find because the water is so nasty and like not nasty but like cloudy like murky. Yeah.
Put a few tons of oysters in there.
Yeah,
it'll be crystal clear in a couple days.
It also doesn't help that there's a paper plant in Ticonderoga, New York, which is right on the lake.
There you go. There it is. That's the problem.
Oh, and then the city of Burlington accidentally, in giant air quotes, every couple years dumps about 600,000 or 700,000 gallons of waste water into the lake.
Oh, there you go. I mean,
It's just an accident.
Paper mills make Anthony Sewell's house smell good.
Oh God. You drive through that town in the summer if it's raining, and you can taste it through the air conditioning.
Oh, I know. I mean, New Orleans. There's like 2 paper mills in the vicinity of the French Quarter, like within a couple miles. That's why it smells so bad. It's not people puking in the streets, although that does happen. It's not going to happen enough to make the whole place smell like that. It's the paper mills.
Yeah, that shit like clings to the air. It's gnarly. On June 9th, after Lorraine didn't show up to work, Bill's sister called. She called UVM to ask Bill why Lorraine wasn't working. When she found out that Bill hadn't shown up to work that day either, she starts getting a little worried. Because that wasn't like either one of them. They were both extremely punctual and rarely called out of work. She then calls their home to check in on them. She obviously gets no answer because the phone lines are cut. Then she decides to drive by the house to see if they're all right. After driving past the house a couple of times, she called the Essex PD to have them do a welfare check on Bill and Lorraine, and they arrived about 45 minutes later. Because, again, it's a welfare check. It's not really an emergency. They're going to take their time getting there.
Right.
The police found all the doors locked and all the blinds drawn. An officer did get a glimpse through the kitchen window and saw glass on the floor, and the window in the kitchen door to the garage was smashed. Now suspecting that someone has forced their way into the house, they start a more thorough search of the home, where they notice the phone lines are cut outside, and it's cut like right below the junction box. When they entered the house, they found no sign of robbery or struggle. Bill's diabetes meds were in a shot glass on the counter where he put them every night so he could take them and grab a swig of water and, get his meds in him. Lorraine's glasses and contacts were still in the house, and she actually needed those to drive legally on her driver's license. Bill's wallet is still there. The only thing missing around the house is Lorraine's purse and Bill's snub-nosed .38 Ruger revolver. So this guy, I think a lot of his like home invasion stuff is motivated to steal firearms to put into his kill kits. Because if you have a gun missing...
Was there ever a kill kit found that had a victim's gun, a gun registered to a victim in it?
I don't know if they ever like tied it back to anybody, but they definitely found kill kits with guns that had been reported missing. So I don't know if he had... If some of those had been just like break-and-enters when somebody wasn't home and just stole their pistol and like skedaddled or what.
Well, they need to find out who those guns were registered to, and
right.
maybe
and that's
do
not
a wellness check.
That's not a hard thing to do. I mean,
no, just registered to Joe Schmidt on 123 Dandelion Lane, and okay, well that person's been missing since X amount of time, and okay, his gun was found here, so guess what? More than likely, Mr. Schmidt was killed by Israel Keys as well.
Yep. Or
I mean, that's the type of thing that, you know, like, it's not that hard. It's like Larry Hall. I mean, his victims. He only went down for two murders, but he's suspected of a lot more, and they just can't find him.
Yep.
When we covered that episode, Todd figured it out. The man owned a graveyard. He buried them in
under
existing graves, under a casket, or even just dug in and just dumped the body in on top of a casket and filled it back in.
Oh my God, he could have killed so many fucking people.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he probably did. There's a lot of unsolved murders in that case too. And that those general areas. I mean, there's a lot of unsolved murders in there. It's like Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, that general area.
Damn. And you know, the other thing that could happen with this whole gun thing that we're talking about, where they're finding them in the kill kits, there's some states where if he had stolen this firearm and then we find it in a barrel somewhere else and then we tie it back to this person, they can contact him and go, hey, did you ever report a missing handgun? I did. Okay, cool. And then they could have the cops show up and arrest you for not having it securely locked away. I think Colorado is one of those states where, like, if you own guns, you have to have a gun safe, and if they come into your house for any reason and they find a gun just laying around, they'll arrest you for it.
Wow.
Which, thankfully, Vermont's not like that, because it's like, no, it's fully not functional at all. I mean,
it's totally a prop.
That's fine. Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. It's a full matching numbers all the way through the rifle, Russian-made Mosin Nagant prop.
Right. That's a nice prop.
Yes. Very nice. George Murdy, who is the lead investigator on the Courier case, contacted the Vermont State Police, the crime scene search team, which is a very strange name, to do a more extensive search of the house and kind of process it as a crime scene. June 11th, Murdy got a call that someone had seen a man driving the Courier's car. I'm guessing it was probably someone who knew the Couriers, or at least recognized the car, because, Essex is a bigger, it's not really a city, it's kind of like, well, it's a small city, but it's still small enough that you would, if you saw somebody 3 or 4 times a week in traffic, you're going to recognize the car. Then you're going to go, who's this asshole driving that car? That doesn't belong to him. Essex PD locates the car a few days after Bill and Lorraine went missing next to a dumpster in the parking lot of an apartment on Pearl Street, which is only about 5 minutes away from their house. A quick look at the car, and police noticed the driver's seat was pushed all the way back, like a taller person had been driving it. And I mean, Saturns are pretty small cars. And the passenger seat was pushed all the way up to the dashboard, meaning that he stuffed them both in the back. I'm assuming her on the floor, him on the seat. The car and dumpster were taken in to be more closely searched. A piece of glass was found on the floor that matched the glass from the kitchen door, meaning that the car had been taken from the house that had been broken into, leading police to believe that whoever took the courier's car is most likely the same person that abducted them. Duh.
Yeah, right?
In the meantime, the CSI team at the house took DNA samples from razors, toothbrushes, hairbrushes, stuff like that to build a DNA profile for Bill and Lorraine. The police then did checks to see about activity on credit cards or phones and came up completely empty. 5 days after Bill and Lorraine Courier went missing, members went in front of the media asking them to be returned safely. And they went to, I believe that would have been WCAX, because I remember seeing it on the news.
Damn.
Which is our local CBS affiliate. August 15th, George Murdy had contact with Bob Drew, an FBI profiler, who said that the couriers were most likely dead at the hands of a white male who had most likely had contact with one of, if not both of the couriers, and they had been the target of the crime, and it was most likely personal and carried out with a firearm. This guy couldn't have been more wrong on the motivation, because he had no clue who these people were.
If you have a random murder pop up and everything random in that area, you're gonna try and profile it, and you're gonna try and figure out what the motive might be. You don't realize that you're going from literally a cross-continent killer. Right. You don't realize that that's what you're dealing with here. This is just a one-off. This is just So then they figure, okay, it might be gang related, it might be drug related, it might be burglary related, it might be, sexually related. Whatever. Yep. Whatever you can derive from the evidence on the scene or whatever, you can. You're going to do that, and if you're right, you look like a genius. If you're wrong, you look like an idiot.
Correct. I mean, in this case, he's like 50-50. So, I mean, a white dude with a gun, that's a pretty good guess when it comes to, a abduction / homicide, especially in the state of Vermont, because it's like, I think we're like 99.2% white up here. We're like the second whitest state in the country, right after Maine.
Oh, damn.
Nobody wants to live here. This place sucks. Like, it's expensive. It's cold half the year. Like, all right, let's see. So, Murdy took the FBI's advice and began gathering, Jesus Christ, and began gathering reams of information on the couriers and tracked their lives back step by step until the beginning of 2011. After he was caught, Keyes told the FBI that he had taken the couriers. They informed Murdy that when Essex PD investigated the area, they found that the house had been bulldozed, and the remains of the building had been hauled off to a landfill. Investigators spent 8 weeks searching this landfill for human remains and found nothing. So
do you think Keyes might have bulldozed the house?
No. It was definitely something that had been listed for demolition anyway because it was unsafe.
Oh, the farmhouse. Okay.
Yeah. Oh no, okay. Their house is still there.
Actually, I got confused for a second. It's been a long time since I've looked into Israel Keyes. So.
Oh no, you're good. Actually, hold on. Let me. I'm going to take you down another rabbit hole that I do on my show. They're called ADD breaks.
Do you have like a little jingle for that? Little...
Oh yeah. I've got a whole spin up for it. I get this like old timey like TV interruption thing. It's like da 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 da. Okay,
set it up. Send it to me, and I'll throw it into the episode.
I can do that.
Okay.
Matter of fact, they've changed the address, but that's the house.
Not what I was picturing.
No, and
Not
if you
at
were to
all.
go,
Which one is it? The 2-story?
this little gray one right here with the red car.
Okay.
That's the
Honestly, that 2-story was kind of what I was picturing, to be honest with you.
No, so he came in through the side of the garage over here. Their bedroom is one of these back rooms, either here or on the back side of the house. But if we go further down the street here,
where was the farmhouse?
The farmhouse was on. I don't remember where. It wasn't in Essex. It was like.
Oh, okay. He took him a good distance away.
Yeah.
Okay.
This house right here is one that I used to do service at.
Oh boy, lucky you.
So that's four doors down from there.
Damn.
Yep. But that I didn't start there until after all of this had happened. 2012, I was actually still living. About 5 minutes from where I'm sitting right now. But yeah.
Huh.
Yep. So, good times.
Oh yeah, definitely. So, where are we at?
So that was the end of it. The next one would be getting into the Samantha Koenig murder.
Okay, you know what? Let's go ahead and call it for this one.
Yeah.
We're over an hour.
Sure.
I'm kind of wanting to try and keep the episodes a little shorter. You know, so we could probably devote an entire episode on Koenig and what happened. His escapades through Texas and all that stuff and everything that happened to him. When he was in jail and whatnot. We could probably devote an entire episode for that.
Absolutely, especially with even like I've got like 2 pages of information on Koenig, but the way that we'll go back and forth on it, that will definitely fill out a lot of time.
Right.
Because that one was fucking brutal.
Yeah, it was. All right. Well, and by the way, people, if you're wanting to see what exactly we were talking about, you might want to go check out the YouTube page.
Yes.
And
absolutely.
on that YouTube page, you will see where I'm sitting now. My new studio looks a hell of a lot better than it did before.
It really does, man. I'm very happy with seeing it. Like, you showed me the other night. It was like hell yeah, it looks great.
I mean, it looked good, but just taking a video camera, taking a cell phone camera around the room or whatever, that looked good, but you don't really get the look of it until you actually see me sitting here. And oh my God, it looks freaking good.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like I got a good feel for it, and I was like, this looks good. And then once I hopped on here, I was like, oh shit, this is really nice, because it's like you actually get to see how it's gonna look, and it's pretty good, man. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, and I'm really happy with it. I'm like, when I sat down,
when I sat your ass for it,
Yeah, when I sat down and I turned on the. Turned on Riverside to see how it's going to look. I was just like, holy crap, this looks good.
I think this is the first time we've recorded since I redid my backdrop, so it's not just my, 3, things of books behind me. I was like, yeah, I got to do something. And I went with the theme of violently historic.
Well, it works, because you're history goon.
Exactly. I got my Mosin. I've got a replica cavalry saber from the Mexican-American War. I got my grandfather's shadow box with his flag from when he served in the military.
Very cool.
And I got my Green Mountain Boys flag over here because I have to have that. That's required for somebody like me.
So, all right. Tell them a little bit about your podcast, if in case we might stumble across a new listener.
Yeah, absolutely. So my show is called History Goon, as you can see from the bottom of the thing on my side of the screen, where it also lets you know I'm a mediocre podcaster. I am
I'm awful, according to Christopher Wood.
I don't know. Do you remember the time that when we were recording on mine and I just changed yours without you noticing it?
No.
It went from CKCB Bill to I just put it to my name Bill.
I do not recall this. So that means
God.
that episode is out with it on there.
You had got up to go to the bathroom or something, and I'm like, this is going to be funny. And I'm just like, my name Bill.
I never noticed it. Because...
So, let's see. So my show's called History Goon. As of right now, I have got 34... I'm sorry, I'm not spacing off. I'm looking at my whiteboard, like consulting, where I have everything released. I've got 34 episodes out. I'm out to the public. So that means I'm 4 episodes into my second season. I've got one more episode coming out this year, if this goes out before the end of the year, for the Bay of Pigs operation and Operation Northwoods, which I got a little in the weeds on that one when it comes to conspiracy theory stuff, but that's a lot of fun. And then I'm starting next year off with just a real piece of shit. So if you want historical scumbags and you're interested in the Civil War, definitely give me a look beginning of next year.
Okay.
But I do everything from a lot of World War I, a lot of World War II. I've been trying to get a little bit more into like antiquity, like older stuff. This season is the first time I've actually jumped into the Revolutionary War with the guy that I just released. And man, I've got a lot of stuff like in the pipe here. Matter of fact, I recorded 2 episodes today before I recorded with you.
Oh, damn. Well, this episode, for continuity's sake, if you're listening to it, it was done on December 26th, and my goal is to have it released before the year's end. So,
hell yeah, yeah. I've recorded 3 episodes in the past 4 days, and one of them edited down came out to like an hour and 45 minutes.
Edit. Yeah, you told me it was like 3 hours or something,
dude.
But yeah, and definitely check out History Goon, and
absolutely.
And if you listen to it, you might hear yours truly on an episode coming up in the future.
Yes, I'm hoping this season. I've got like I said, I've got my first 10 episodes, like pretty well set in stone, because that's all the slots I have on my whiteboard, and then from there I have to erase and rewrite everything so I can do it 3 times, because that's how my OCD works. I want to get you on there at some point this season, though, because we have a dude to talk about.
Oh, we do. We have a dude.
We do.
Nice.
It's gonna be interesting.
I am intrigued.
Yes.
So, all right. Well, thanks a lot for listening. We are glad to be back, and we are gonna stay back and everything. And the show ain't going anywhere. You thought that you were rid of us, but no, we're back, baby. So.
Like I said in the first episode of my new season, much like a bad penny or herpes, I'm back. You thought you got rid of me, but here I am. I flare up every once in a while to make your life uncomfortable with
if I had been drinking beer, I would have spit it all over on that one. I would have lost it. But no, I'm just drinking water.
Good. Hey, I'm getting into the hard stuff myself. I got a holiday creamy vanilla Coke, which is all right, but then I've been
designer cocaine.
Yes.
Thought.
I wish these guys would sponsor me for the amount of money that I spend on their products regularly. But
anyway, thanks a lot for listening. We appreciate the hell out of it. Check out our socials. Check out our YouTube page. Check out History Goon's socials. Check out his YouTube page. And until next week when we wrap up his real keys, later.
Bye-bye.